Hi, good evening, Dr. Modi.
Good.
Glad to see you.
Thank you. Good evening to you all.
Yes.
To you all. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. All right. We'll go to this. We'll finish off with this sutra, Meththa and Sansa, and we come back to the five aggregates as we promised.
Okay.
Okay. We go to page number 10, please.
Okay.
The verse number 9. So we said number 8 is this person is Gavo. Gavo means doing some investigation, very intense and very broad investigation to figure out the Meththa, what the Meththa does to the system after practicing all these things said by the Buddha up to 7. So looking at the benefits, how to develop that skill, what are the benefits, how it works within the system. So therefore, this person has got a good idea about Meththa now. So that is number 8. That's what we discussed yesterday. So,
Yeah.
Bhavo
Okay.
Tatta Pajayanti Ketto Vuttang Viruhati. So, comes to a stage where this person is doing that examination or evaluation, self-assessment, some sort of a self-assessment to find out the benefits. So finally, ketto kette buttang, the second line says kette buttang, which means after this investigation, this person found that Meththa is helping
Yeah.
in every situation and having a very peaceful life. Some sort of confirmation about what this person has practiced on Meththa. So come to a conclusion or confirmation or endorsing that Meththa is so strong to bring happiness. In other words, when we say happiness, that happiness is beyond explanation. It is called not the normal happiness we are talking about, it's the calmness, it's the peace.
Yes.
So that happiness is, although we use that term, it is not a temporary happiness, it's an eternal happiness. That is what I was trying to tell you. It brings serenity and tranquility. All right, then we go to number 9, the next one up. Next one down, sorry. So you go to the next one, 9. Number 9 says, Darito sabbata towa, sabbata towa, sabbata towa, Darito. Darito is what you are hanging on to, Darita. Darita is, Darito means you are, what do you call, you are hanging on to, or you are the support that you are looking for from something. Darito. So Darito, hang on to, you're normally used to hang on to invade, uh, disasters. You may be hang on to a tree, you may be hang on to a rock, big rock, or whatever. Once again, when these examples are given by the Buddha, we have to realize these 2,500 or more than 2,500 years ago, this example is given by the Buddha. So it is completely different to the rescues that we found in this period of life. Make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, this is we have to realize all these things when you are reading. This is, we can't bring them to this situation. So Buddha preaching to over 2,500 years ago. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So when this person is uh, trying to rescue himself or herself by hanging on to a tree or a rock or whatever, this person is not getting into disastrous situations or not hurt, I would say. In a disastrous situation, if this person is going to get the support from anything, those things will not bring disasters. Okay, don't hurt that person. Won't hurt that person. So that says Rukkato means tree. Rukkato. The next part says Rukkato. Rukkato is a tree, big tree, huge tree. Uh, even even something like that, that's supporting. On the other hand, such things won't fall over to that onto that person. So both ways it works. You're going to get the help that won't trouble you. On the other hand, such things won't fall onto that person in a huge, very intense rain or very intense tornado, whatever you call. So this person is pretty safe. Now, there can be any disagreements about these things, of course. People might say, how come that person died when that particular disaster was occurred, but some people were not hurt? So there are so many reasons behind that. So those are the things that we have to discuss or think about.
Yes.
Yes. So number 10, please. Number 10, finally, it says, Virulha Mula Santana. So it's very strong interior is possessing by this person now. The interior is very strong with Meththa. No fear to anything, no fear to go anywhere because no confrontations with others, no conflicts. The system doesn't allow that to happen. So, giving an example again, a tree in India where the roots are falling onto the ground and make the tree very stable. So the leaves or branches of the tree is coming down and it goes into the ground and it will stabilize the position of that tree. So that tree is called a banyan tree. Banyan tree. So,
Yes.
so it is like, now this person is like that. No matter what comes against that person, physically or emotionally or whatever from the outside sources, this person is not going to change anything. Even something happens, this person is not going to get hurt or sorrowful and so on and so forth. So that is what it says. Amitta is no possibility of causing hatred or anger. Amitta is not mitta, no mitta. If the outside sources are producing something without mitta, amitta,
Yeah. No meter.
so this person is not going to do anything because the protection is mitta, metta. So this person's total protection is done by Meththa, physically and emotionally or mentally. So finally, that is what Buddha says. So this person becomes very strong with that particular skill. So that can be applied at any situation. That's the final thing. So we learn about what metta is. So there are no conflicts with others. They're looked after very well. When you go to any place, the people, even the animals will help. There are
Yes.
so many stories about that. So this person is fully protected, I would say, fully protected from metta. The life is protected, the day-to-day living is protected, the
Yes.
the the aggressive people also won't go against them. The thief can't, get closer to this person that we have studied. No anger is developing in this system. So many advantages as you can imagine.
Yes. Yes.
Nittani Sansa. All right, with that explanation that concludes that particular sutra, I would like to go to page number 12 now, the next page. Number 12, please. In that one, I have explained the five aggregates again. As you can see, Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankara, Vijnana is explained under Karanimetha Sutra. Why? Because there was a part where it explains the behavior or the features of a thought that we studied. So we studied the feature of a thought. Buddha explained that. Yekeci pana bhutatti tasava tavarava anavasesa. You can see that one in under Karaniyametta Sutra, the verse 4 and 5. That's what we studied. Yekeci pana bhutatti tasava tavarava anavasesa digava ye mahantava majjimarasa kanuka tula. So if I repeat that, yekinchi pana bhutatti tasava tavarava anavasesa digava eva additta yecha dure vasanti avidure bhutava sambhave siva sabbe satta bhavantu subidatta on the other side. But let us go through this again. Yekeci pana bhutatti tasava tavarava. So it stabilizes, the thought is produced, it stabilizes, it will do the harm to the system, whether it's happiness or it brings happiness or harmness to the system. And if you are really fond of that particular thought or the action of that thought, it's going to stay there. It's going to stay there as a seed in the interior. It's going to sit in the interior as a seed. Whenever you wanted to bring that thought again, it comes out. It is there unless you ignore that thought. So Buddha is talking here about the thoughts that we develop. Uh, For that purpose, I have explained right at the beginning of the sutra number 12, going back to number 12, the five elements of a thought. So let us concentrate on that. That is so important because there's a big reason behind that. There's a big reason behind that. What is the reason? These five aggregates, Rupa, it's on page 12, right at the Rupa, further bit down here, Rupa. Then you get Vedana in the next item, Vedana. That's right. That's right. Thank you. Vedana, then Sanya on the other side, Sanya, and Sankhara, and finally Vinya. So we have discussed this long time ago, but I would like to bring that up today uh, to explain what a thought is. Now, we are living in a, Buddha says we are living in a uh, jungle which is full of rupa. We think we are living in a world, but Buddha says no, we are living in a jungle with lot of rupa. Why? Why Buddha said jungle? Because it's fear. Fear is there. Always we are living with fear. So Buddha compared that fear to a jungle, thick jungle, which has got so many aggressive things, fearful things are happening within the system. So we never know, due to some other reason, the fear can erupt, the anger can erupt, and this system can trouble somebody, physically or emotionally. Can you understand that?
Yes.
I'm going very deep into this particular explanation by this.
Thank you.
We are living in a jungle, Buddha say, or forest, fearful forest or a jungle, which is full of lightning, fire, due to, two trees are rubbing together due to winds, rain, lightning, you name, everything is there. The cruel animals are fighting with each other. You can imagine the situation of a forest or a jungle. So something like that is happening inside our interior, Buddha says, if we are not being with Meththa. If you are with Meththa, such things won't happen. No matter how bad the outside world is, your internal system is not disturbed that much. Make sense?
Yes.
So you have to think through your system. This cannot be explained through any other way other than thinking through our system. That's what Buddha insisted and reiterated or remind us over and over again. That is the meaning of reiterated. Over and over again, so many times Buddha stressed that to realize the real situation happening in the interior of our life. What is happening in the interior of our life? That is what Buddha always wanted us to examine.
Yes.
So this particular rupa, so we are living in a jungle with a lot of rupa. So these rupa are called Vastu Rupa or Vattu Rupa. They are the real appearance that we can see from the outside worldly things. But we bring those things into our system and we modify them in the mind or the interior. We modify them. When we modify that, that rupa doesn't come as they are. They come and produce an upadana rupa, which is entirely different to what is there. If we can absorb the Rupa as they are, existing in the outside world, no harm is done. Because we mix the Rupa, outside Rupa, with karma, likings and dislikings, attractions and retractions. So when we mix them with such elements, the karma, that get distorted, the Rupa get distorted and comes into our system as Upadana Rupa. These Upadana Rupa are the Rupa that Buddha is referring to in this particular part, Rupa. Rupa comes and those Rupa goes. They come and do the damage and go away. So Rupa comes and goes. Or it comes and goes. That particular process of coming and going is called Rupa Raga, Arupa Raga. It's coming, Rupa Raga, is going, Arupa Raga. So it's happening at a terrific speed. We can't imagine the speed. Speed of Rupa Raga, Arupa Raga process is beyond our thinking. It's happening so fast.
Yes.
It's coming and going, coming and going, coming and going. It comes, and then when it comes and hits the system, that's why Buddha said this is not done by us. It is happening through the system itself. So there is no I or ego here. It's a process that we have to be with, unfortunately. We have to be with the process which is going on in the system from the day we born into this world. That process is ongoing. Then we have to be with that. If we are not satisfied with that process, we may sometimes able to harm ourselves or destroy this particular entire system. Some people do that. When they can't cope with that particular process, they hang themselves, they kill themselves, they jump into various places, they destroy their lives. Why? They can't cope with it. But they have not realized this is done by the system rather than somebody. The system does that, how it is done. Now, some people, or most of the people, try to figure out why it is so. One of the person is Prince Siddhartha. Prince Siddhartha went out and tried to figure out why I am getting angry, why this is happening to me, why this is happening to those people, what is the reason behind it. I would like to find out this. So Prince Siddhartha spent 6 years examining what is happening to this system when dealing with the outside world. That is exactly what Buddha has preached. After doing that thorough and detailed examination, that is what you find in Sutra. You take any sutra, Buddha explains what is happening to a process of a system, human process of a system with the outside world. At various occasions, people ask questions. Buddha gave the answer. That particular discussion became a sutra. All right?
Yes.
So it's a long story. So when you come back to this Rupa, Rupa is good because you can't stop Rupa coming into the system. You can't stop it. You can't stop
Ye-
the Rupa coming to you. You have to look at the outside world. When you are living in this world, you have to associate with Rupa, of course. But Buddha explains these things for us to not to hurt ourselves by modifying the Rupa which are in the outside, mixing with karma or likings and dislikes. That's the trouble. That's where the trouble starts, which is pretty hard, of course. The
Yeah.
layman can't do this because Buddha is not talking about the layman to do this, because then people say, how I'm going to earn something to live the life? How can I feed my children and look after my family? And all sort of things would come up. All right.
Yes.
But if somebody is really wanted to be calm throughout the life, Buddha has given a system or method or doctrine, whatever you call it, the way of living to go about to bring the calmness to the system eternally. That is Buddha's teachings. Now, Rupa is that, it's coming, we modify, then Vedana. Vedana is a very important point. Vedana means when the Rupa comes, we modify that as Upadana Rupa by mixing with likings and dislikings. While doing that, we find whether such Rupa is going to make me happy. That's a small item happening there. Are the sentimental emotions about such Rupa? Check whether the happiness can be obtained through them. Being for and against. So if you see something you don't like, I would like to see it is getting destroyed or discarded. If there is something that I really like, I would like to get that. So I would like to have that. I would like to claim that. I would like to get the ownership of that. Now that is called Machariya. Machariya is that. The Machariya comes from Vedana. What is Machariya? Kama, Tanna, Rati, Raga, Lobha, Desha, Moha, Machariya, Krodha, Vaira. Machariya is to protect that particular thing. You put all your efforts, your energy to protect that, to have happiness all the time. So Vedana is, in a broader sense, that is what is given by the Buddha. So it's sort of a checking process, checking whether that would help us. Now, going back to Rupa again, if you go back to Rupa again, these are all cause and effect. Buddha has given sort of a examples, or Buddha termed this particular thing as Penapindupama. That is the word given by Buddha's terms in Magadhi. Penapindupama. Penapindupama means it is a froth. A froth. When the water drops are coming onto a surface of a reservoir, the water drops make froth when it is coming. So Buddha compared that as a froth. Froth is a combination of bubbles. So bubbles can break. So Vedana is the bubbles of that froth. Buddha says Vedana is like bubbles of that froth. Bubulupama. Bubulupama is bubbles of that, so starting with the same B, luckily. So it's Bubulupama means bubbles of that froth, which is about to break at any time. So what Buddha is trying to tell us? Buddha is trying to tell us what you are containing in your system as Upadana Rupa, they are fake, they are fictitious, they are not actually to be there with you. Why? Because it brings you temporary happiness and finally it brings unhappiness, sadness, fear, and so on and so forth. Vedana is produced by that froth. Therefore, there is no difference between that and this. It is also sort of a fictitious element or fake element. So Buddha gives these two terms, Bubulupama for the Vedana, Penapindupama, the froth and the bubbles, as Rupa and Vedana, because we produce that in our system. It is not actually there. So you can imagine millions of people living in this world. When they see, say, a flower, same type of flower, their Rupa and Vedana they produce in their minds are entirely different to each other. Make sense?
Yes.
Millions or billion ways they are looking at it. So when we close our eyes and think about that situation, what a mess is happening in the world. So if they
Yes.
take them to produce anger, you know how silly it is, how foolish it is to produce anger because of this flower. Some people, had fights due to these flower yards or whatever, yards of flower. So they kill each other sometimes. We have heard about those things also. So that is attachment, too much attachment. Anyway, so Rupa Vedana, they are all fake. Was fully fake. That's what Buddha is trying to tell us. So Buddha says, be careful when you are dealing with these things. Don't attach to them too much. For day-to-day living,
Yes.
you can attach to them very slightly, no harm. As long as harm is not done, you are safe. If it harms you, then problems start. Rupa Vedana Sanya. Then you're going to identify, okay, the next item is Sanya. You are going to identify this Rupa, Sanya, Rupa, Vedana, and Sanya. Here, you got the first one, Rupa is there. You got the Vedana, you got some sort of a Vedana is actual, you are checking whether there is something in it to have happiness. That is what it is. The best way to explain is there anything there in that Rupa for me to get some happiness? It's a long expression to explain. Are the sentimental emotions about such upadana to check whether happiness can be obtained through them? So it's sort of a assessment, checking. But then sanya is you're going to go further into that and try to perceive or identification of rupa in a broader sense, very deeply. Fake thing is identified and try to figure out, can I really get some happiness? So Buddha says that step is the third step. First one is the Rupa, second one is the Vedana, third step is Sanya. Third step. In this third step, more investigation, more things are happening there. Identify and recognize the possessions further and further. Buddha gave the term for that, Marichi Kupama. Marichi Kupama is the term given by Buddha. Marichi Kupama. Marichi Kupama. That's right. That's the one. What is Marichi means? Marichi Kupama means it is like you are going behind a mirage. You are going behind a mirage. What is a mirage? When you go to if you go to the beach, you can see a line between the sky and the water. It's a mirage. What the world is,
Yes.
that is the mirage. So Buddha brought that as the example here. So it's like you are looking at a mirage to get something. So you are investigating what comes from a fake rupa that you have produced within your system or created within your system, and you check whether that is going to give you happiness. But Buddha said all these happinesses are ending up with sorrow and sadness and sufferings. So therefore, you are going behind a mirage to investigate further and further about this sanya. So Buddha said, at least stop there. Don't go beyond that. Don't go beyond that, Buddha insisted. Because the next two steps are really bad. That's why Buddha said, stop there. Make sense?
Yes.
So if a person goes beyond that particular point, what will happen? Then go to Sankara. Then the system, the particles of the system, firstly the particles of the physical system start to change. Physical system of the particles is going to change. First physically, then emotionally. Not emotionally and physically together. It is, described as the formation of physical and emotional sensations. Yes, but beginning, it works with the physical system, that is the body. The body consists of so many items. The blood veins, the flesh, the particles of the flesh, the blood, the skeleton of the body. Everything is going to start to change because your intention is to get some sort of happiness from what you have seen, what you have observed, and you have checked, you are deeply checked. Therefore, the system is going to go for that. Your five senses are open. Doors are open. Five senses are open fully to get the happiness, to get the thing that you are looking for. Make sense?
Yes.
That is sankar. Then once you have obtained that, you feel through your entire system, the sanya comes into the picture. Now, this sankara is for one particular rupa, upadana rupa. That sankara gives one sankara for each rupa. So it is not repeated. It cannot be repeated with the same strength or same features. One sankara for one rupa. Second sankara for second rupa. third sankara for third group, and so on and so forth. So you can imagine in a day how many sankara we are producing for different rupa that we have seen if you are going along this particular path. It generally happens automatically if the person has not developed Meththa within the system. Meththa is not claiming the ownership or not claiming the ownership or belonging on something.
Yeah.
This sankara is compared by the Buddha to a stem of a banana tree. The stem of a banana tree, coalesce stem of a banana tree, that means inside is hollow. Nothing is there because it can't produce. The banana tree itself can't produce another banana tree because it has got the roots to come out to bring another banana tree, not the tree itself. After producing the bananas, it will die. Then comes out another from a root, another banana tree. And it also gives the fruits and dies, and so on and so forth. That process goes on. So it is similar to what is happening in our system. This sankara is produced and it dies out. It won't stay long, but it gives you the trouble, and then it is termed as a coalesced stem of a banana tree. And the term used by the Buddha is kadalupama, 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 kadalupama. Kadalupama is the term Buddha has given for a coalesced banana tree. That in Magadhi language, that is the term kadalupama. Now going back to Rupa, Rupa is there. We are living in a world of Rupa or forest of full of Rupa. So we produce the Upadana Rupa by modifying the Rupa that is coming through our eyes, nose, all six senses are there to bring about all these Rupa into the system. So by looking, we get through the eyes, Rupa through the sound, Rupa through the smell, the taste, the touch, and the speed, but through the brain. Through the brain, speed comes. Okay? So it's a speed is giving a Rupa. So through the eyes, by seeing we get Rupa, through the sound we get Rupa, through the smell we get Rupa, through the taste we get Rupa, through the touch of the body we get Rupa, and also we get the Rupa through the speed which is created in the brain or Dhamma. So Buddha says, Chakku, Sota, Gana, Jiva, Kaya, Mana. These are the six senses termed by Buddha. Chakku. Chakku is the eyes, but they are not the normal eyes. They are the eyes which can detect the Rupa that you are looking for. So it's not just the eyes that we see. It's not a naked eye.
Yes.
Fairly, uh, you know, it's not straightforward. It's fairly complicated, but I don't want to make it too complicated now. You can understand this when you read the Mahasatipatthana Sutra, which is a very long sutra, which explains everything about this, how these are developed, what is happening, the features, everything. I'm just reducing that explanation here so that anybody can understand easily. So that is coming. So it's happening here. So Vedana, okay, searching whether there is some sort of happiness I can get to this, then identifying, perceive to the extreme to find out. So those are the Rupa Vedana Sanya, three items. First one says Bubulupama is the second one. First one says Penapindupama, the froth. Bubulupama, the bubbles. So it started with froth, goes to bubbles, then goes to mirage, then goes to the stem of a banana tree, Sankara. So Buddha is telling you are unnecessarily you are changing your system with Sankara. When you change your system, your entire body is changing. If you are in a calm situation, that can disturb very aggressively in some situations. The calm, very calm system with calm particles are all of a sudden changing towards very aggressive and very angry, very disastrous situation. So Sankara is the changing point. So the right opposite of Sankara is Visankara. Visankara. Sankara, if you stop Sankara, it is called Visankara. I'll just write it here. Visankara.
Okay.
Visankara. That's the
Yeah.
opposite of Sankara.
Yeah.
I send you something today about the dawning statement of Buddha after enlightenment. You will find that term Visankara. So Buddha said, I change that Sankara to Visankara Gatang Chittam. Visankara Gatang Chittam means I change that to Sankara was stopped. That's what it says. So Buddha insisting there how dangerous this Sankara is. It can change the entire system very badly, very, very bad. Cruel situation. Visankara Gatang Chittang. So I stop the Gatang. Gatang is the body. Then whatever comes to my mind through Sankara, I stop that also. Gatang Chittang. Gatang means the body. That is what is given in the dawning statement. So I'm insisting here how bad this Sankara is. Looking at the dawning statement of Buddha, Buddha said, if you look at that particular statement, it is quite important to understand. Aneka jati sansarang sanda bisang anibisang kahakarakang gave santo dukkha jati punang gahakaraka dittosi punagehang nakahasi sabbe te pasuka bhagga gahakutang visankitang visankara gatang chittang tannanang kaya majjagati. That's the entire statement by the Buddha, dawning statement. And I explained that according to my strength to send the message across, which is so important to read once you understood this one. So Buddha is talking about the damage done by a thought. In that particular statement, I stopped that fully. In essence, that is what Buddha said. I stop the damage that can be done to Buddha's, Prince Siddhartha's system then and there. How? Preventing, Buddha didn't use the term karma. Buddha said tanha. Karma, tanha, next item of karma. You can have a bit of karma to live in this world. Tanha is you are strongly attached to that karma. Attentiveness towards karma is tanha. So Buddha stopped that attentiveness towards karma. That is what is explained in that dawning statement. And if anybody wants to go along this path to get the full benefits, look after the tanha, what the tanha is doing. That is the Buddha's message. Anyway, coming back to this, so we can discuss that dawning statement when you are ready to put it on the screen later. Then we go to Vijnana. Vijnana is what you feel about that you have developed within the system according to Buddha says. So we develop things and we are looking for the feeling by ourselves, whether it's a good feeling or a bad feeling. So the cause is us to a certain extent. We'll produce the cause and we are looking at the effect. Can you understand what I said?
Yeah.
We develop the cause by catching the rupa in the outside world and modifying them to upadana rupa, then goes to vedana, whether there is a thing to get some happiness, sanya, identifying to the extreme to figure out whether it's good or bad, then sankara, changing the system, the bodily and mentally, then searching for the result, vijnana, the feeling.
No.
So Buddha
Yes.
says every human being and the beings living in this world are searching for good feelings. They are going behind the feelings through this particular system. But it is a fake system. Because it started with fake and fictitious rupa. Then it started with that is called the froth. Then the bubbles come. Then the stem of a banana tree comes. Then the mirage comes. Finally, the vijnana comes, the feelings. Buddha given the term for feelings as a mirage. Mirage is the, so what is the Buddha's term? Marichikupama. Mayupama. Mayupama is the term Buddha used for vijnana. Mayupama. That's there. Should be there. Ankara, did I miss that? Vijnana. Right. Yeah, it's there. It's in the term used by the Buddha Vijnana as Mayupama. Yeah, that's the one. Thank you. So it's there. I put that. Which means it is just a myth. So we are producing myths and searching for happiness. That is Buddha's explanation about what we are doing every here and now. When I say we, all the people, mankind in this world. Make sense?
Yes.
Now, how come this thought give us another life? Is the question we ask. If the final thought is going to give us another life, the next birth should be a myth. If it is a myth, we can't attain Nibbana. Make sense?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
That is how we look at it. So we believe final thought cannot be take us to the next world or the next life. And also Buddha says there is no term called rebirth. It is wrong. You don't say rebirth. You say re-becoming, re-becoming. Now see the difference between re-becoming. So I'm talking about re-becoming, not rebirth. So Buddha never
Re
talked about rebirth. Buddha talked about re-becoming. Why? That's another point. Re-becoming is I'm becoming another entity with my energy. I keep the energy here. Sorry, I keep my body here. I keep the body here, the physical body, and I take my energy with the skills to the next existence. That is called re-becoming. Re-becoming to what? To continue that process. If I have got calmness within me, I'm going to reproduce that calmness in the next life. Finally, I can decide whether to be with, then I reduce my karma little by little. Then once I get rid of karma fully, the entire universe will reject me. Where am I to go? I have to go nowhere. So I'll send my energy to the universe, the full of energy, with full of calmness, and the peace is dispersed to the universe, and I will go nowhere. I have no place to go in this universe. That is Nibbana. I'll not be
Yes.
re-becoming again. That is the bliss of Nibbana. So until such time, I had to re-become. I had to re-become. So who is helping me to re-become? My energy and the skills that I develop. If I develop good skills, that means peaceful skills, to become peaceful, I'll be re-become, or I'll be gone to another life, to a womb of a mother, human, or even animals, but still I will practice what I have developed in the with skill development program. So why Buddha is asking us to practice metta? The reason is to, even if you can't eliminate all your karma in this life, at least you can live in this life peacefully. Once you go to the next life, you will have a better position to eliminate karma, and you are in a position to reduce your karma and then attain the bliss of Nibbana. So that's the purpose of developing a skill. So the skill helps. As I said, skill is something that you develop which will occur automatically or effortlessly, because this is a system going from one action to another, whether we like it or not. There is no I or ego, there is no myself, there is no self or ego in this system, although people believe there is I. If there is no I, where is this person is going here and there? No, this person is not going here and there. The actions are taking us to this place, that place. That is Buddha's explanation. All right?
Yeah. Thank you. I learned a lot.
Yeah, it's a long story. I made it short, but it's quite interesting to figure out. And also, the best method is to check the Buddha's life. Now, we need facts and figures to insist these things or to accept. So we can accept most of the things by looking at Buddha's life from an ascetic up to the Buddhahood, and after enlightening, what Buddha did, said and done. What Buddha said and done. Buddha said what Buddha has done. So there is a saying that say what you do what you say. Say what you do what you say. That's exactly what Buddha did. Buddha said what Buddha did, and what did is said and practiced, showed every day and night. So that is a very strong message given by the Buddha. Say what you do what you say. So then you are sticking to all the 5 precepts or 8 precepts or 10 precepts. You can see the precepts, there are 5, 8, and 10. There is one precept which says about rupa. We are not going to produce such rupa, these are precepts, when you are going for 8 precepts.
Yeah.
That is, very well said by the Buddha to us. The formation of Rupadana Rupa will not be done any hereafter. That is precepts to all the monks given by the Buddha. It's called Jata Rupa Rajata Patighana Veramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiya. Jata Rupa Rajata Patighana Veramani Sikkhapadam Samadhyami. Jata Rupa. Now see the term Rupa is there. Jata is creating. Jata Rupa. Rajata means I'm not going to keep that as the king inside. Raja means the king, the highest person. Jata Rupa Rajata Patighana Veramani. By keeping that as the only survivor, no, I'm not going to do that. Refrain from. So, Saranang Gacchami, I'm refraining from. I'm refraining from creating Jata Rupa, creating Rupa, Upadana Rupa, creating Upadana Rupa and treating that Rupa as my king inside, or the highest person, or the predominant item in the system. I refrain from doing that. That is one of the precepts in 10 precepts. Yata Rupa Rajata Patighana Veramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiya. All right?
Yeah.
So you can see that in the books, there is a special precepts referring to get rid of this formation of thoughts, which are fairly dangerous. So therefore, Buddha asks us to stop at Rupa, Vedana, Sanya only. Don't go beyond Sanya. Don't go beyond Sanya, Buddha says. It's a dangerous zone. It's a dangerous zone that you are touching. Sankara and Vijnana. I hope you have understood what I said.
Yes. I'm very happy to hear this.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. It's something to, as I said, is food for thought through our system. Through our system, we have to look at whether it's right or wrong what Buddha said. Then you realize and say to yourself, yes, it is right. If you get some problems, then you try to examine further and further and try to figure out, yes, I agree with this with my system. So if it is true for your system, it is true for all the system in the world. That is what Buddha said.
Yes.
All right, if you're happy, I said I explained most of the things today. So tomorrow we can revise again. All right, and I might take
Okay.
a break for until the winter is over. It's pretty cold. All right, so we can come back after tomorrow. We can come back and start the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutra, which is sent to you, the
Mm.
that book.
Yes,
So
it
then
is.
you have got a good foundation now to understand Dhammacakkappavattana Sutra. Is quite interesting and important. All right.
Yeah.
Yes. I want to learn it very much.
Yeah.
And Enid has a question.
Okay. Any other question? Yeah. What's the question?
Yeah. Yeah. Just now you mentioned about the eight precepts. So is it possible for you to to explain it? So what are they?
Are the eight precepts?
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah. There's one called Jata Rupa Rajata Patighana Veramani Sikkhapadan Samadhyana. So you know the first one is Panatipata Veramani Sikkhapadan Samadhyami Adhinnadana Veramani Kamesu Michachara Veramani Sikkhapadan Samadhyami Musavada Suramereva and so on and so forth. So this is one of them in the 8 or 10. I think 10 precepts are there altogether. If you want to touch that, I can do it tomorrow.
Okay. No problem.
So
Yeah, it's better to to do it in English because it's really hard to follow you.
okay, right. I will write up tomorrow and send it to you so that you can put it
Hmm.
in the screen for everybody can see that. All right.
Okay, I will do. Yeah, okay.
Okay, tomorrow I'll do that and
Mm,
try to send it before we start.
yeah, good.
No problem. Thank you. Andy. Thanks for everything. Thanks for listening. Thanks for the questions. Very happy.
Yes. Thank you so
Yes.
much for your wonderful preach.
Okay, thank you so much. This is my strength. I'm using my strength to explain. It's not 100%, but this is what I've learned, and I'm trying to share that learning with others. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah. Yes, yes. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thanks for your encouraging words.
Good
Okay.
night.
Yeah, thank you.
And you have a good rest during the winter, and we will see you then. Okay.
Yeah, the winter is fairly bad now, getting day by day. So I get some sort
Mm,
of when the winter is bad, even if I in a air conditioner, I get headaches. When the temperature goes up
mm,
and down, so I get headaches. So I would like to take a break for a while because after that operation also I'm not 100%. So so I may need a few weeks, maybe September, early September will start. All right.
mm. Yeah, okay. Just have a good rest. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, if the temperature
yeah.
is
If it settles
is
down, I will
yeah,
send a message and
sit
say
down.
we'll start early. So
Yeah,
tomorrow
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
coming. Yes, of course, tomorrow I'm coming. So I'll send that to you and we go
Mm-hmm.
from there and see how it goes. Okay.
Okay, okay, thank you so much. And hopefully, yeah, Buddha will. bless you, and
Hmm?
Buddha will bless you. Yeah,
Thank you.
bless you.
Thank you.
And hopefully we can have your lecture soon. Because
Yeah,
we
I'll try
cannot
my best.
wait.
Yeah, try my best. Yeah. Okay, no problem. Okay,
Okay, take care.
I like to, talk to this group. It's so pleasing because you are listening to that. It's very good. Thank you. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
everybody is listening, and if with the in translation, they can get it easy.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
All the best. See you tomorrow.
See
Good night.
you.
Good night.
Good night.
Night.